Bless upon yourself, people. Thanks for passing through again. Thanks for tuning back again to the Nicardo Media House in the morning. Inside of video, bless upon yourself. Salute. Remember, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Really, really important. Check it out. But Mason Greenwood, two reports, on Mason Greenwood. One is a transfer, yeah, and the other one, he got snubbed from that Unfp award. He's not among the nominees that got nominated for that award. That's like one of the most prestigious award in French football. Kylian Mbappe, I think, I've won that like 5 times. It will broadcast and be in sports. So it's like, you would say it's like the PFA award, that they always keep yearly in England. So Mason Greenwood got snubbed. Yeah, he got snubbed from that award. He's not on that 5-man shortlist that got nominated, for that award. The 5 men that on that list, is Hakimi, the right back for Paris Saint-Germain. Vitinha, one of the best midfielder in the world. This season, especially for Paris Saint-Germain. Ousmane Dembele, who obviously will go on to win that award. Desiree Doué. I think it's hard done by Barcola not to get on that list as well. Turkey, another player. So you have 4 Paris Saint-Germain player and 1 Olympique Lyonnais player. Where is Mason Greenwood on that list? Even Jonathan David, a player that have done quite a bit of work for Lille, but Mason Greenwood was the player that really stand out, especially in the first phase of the season and in the second phase of the season. If you look at Barcola, he had a better season, between August and December, more than Desiree Doué. Yes, obviously, in the back part of, the Champions League, league phase, Desiree Doué, actually took his opportunity and actually started to get more games, and he became the better player in the second half of the season. But Cherki, look, you would say that the season that, Cherki have alongside Mason Greenwood, who had the better season so far. You would say Mason Greenwood is the second best. I would say probably he's the second leading goal scorer in the French Liga on the season. But would you put Kvaratskhelia, the work that he have done so far since January until now, that the work Mason Greenwood put in throughout the entire campaign? I just think it's hard done by. Actually Mason Greenwood done an interview after the Lille game over the weekend, and he actually hit back on the people who nominate those players, and this is what Mason Greenwood have to say alongside about talking about the award of not getting on that short list. Talk about teammates, talk about the trip to Italy, that little mini training camp where Roberto De Zerbi where he brought the team in Italy, in Rome, just to get away from the distraction in Rome, and actually just talk about the game and everything else. So this is what Mason Greenwood have to say as well.
I'm not really bothered about that. The only thing I'm bothered about is getting Marseille to the Champions League.
What's your feeling about the return to Rome? What happened in Rome? Do you think it brings something to the team?
Yeah, I thought it brought us closer together a little bit to be together for 2 weeks. It was quite a good thing, and I feel like it did the team a lot of good.
Do you feel like going back there?
I don't know. We'll have to see what the coaches in that say, but we're fully focused on trying to get the Champions League.
Mason, you share the offensive line with Hemingway since the last 2-3 windows. Can you explain us the relationship between us, you and Hemingway?
Yeah, we have a good relationship. He's the top player, as you can see. He's really helped us this season coming in January. Like I say, his goal tonight. He's always in the right place at the right time. It's what we need for a striker at Marseille, and all props to him today because he had a very good game.
And tonight the Champions League is not so far?
Say that again?
Not so far, the Champions League tonight?
No, it's not so far away. It's in our sights, and it's all down to us. There's 2 games to go, and 2 wins will get us there, and that's hopefully what we'll do.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. No problem.
So Mason Greenwood let them know that, look, hey, the Champions League is what matters most. This is the main objective. Yes, he would love to get an individual award, but I just don't think he will win that award. But at least the recognition of getting in on that shortlist would probably be a good job, done by the people who, created that shortlist. But I think it's just an unfair, biased treatment on Mason Greenwood. But moving on, this report, been swinging, and talks have been happening over the last 6, 8 years that potentially there might be a possible move for Mason Greenwood to go back in the Premier League. Is it possible? I would love to hear your reaction in the comment section about potentially Mason Greenwood said, yeah, you would love to be back in the big time. Look, his wife, his girlfriend, his baby mother has always come out and said, hey, they are more settled, their life is good outside of England the last couple of seasons. They live in Madrid. It's a very beautiful city. They live in south of France, in Marseille, on the coast. It's a very beautiful city as well, so they're enjoying, a little bit of, natural beauty outside of England. And Mason potentially line up for a big money move to England. I don't know, man, but it will still be a lot of chaos around that. There will still be a lot of controversial report. There will still be, that timeline about we don't need him back in the country, so you will always have, those group that will come out and say, hey, this is a cancer culture, we don't need Mason Greenwood back in the English Premier League. Don't even mention the Three Lions. But let me know what you guys think about Mason Greenwood got snubbed on that 5-man shortlist for the Unfp award in French for French football. Not just French football, but they have a segment where they nominate the best French footballer who is playing overseas, like Saliba got nominated, I think Mbappe got nominated, a few players in the Premier League and in La Liga, I think got nominated, and they have a little more categories in it. But I would love to know, should Mason Greenwood have been in that nominated list for one of the best player in French football this season? Let me know what you guys think, and let me know what you guys think about potentially Mason Greenwood might lining up for a big money move to the Premier League. Which club you think will it be? Will it be Manchester United? I know Arsenal need players, I don't know, but I just can't see him go back to England anytime soon. But with this is his first season under his belt in French football, the team is on the verge of qualifying for Champions League, secure that Champions League berth spot again, something that they haven't done in quite a few years now. So I think that's the main objective. I don't see Mason Greenwood, my own opinion, I don't see Mason Greenwood move anytime soon, not even next season coming, go back to the Premier League. I think he will stay at Marseille and he will play Champions League football, and from there let's see what happens. But yeah, that's it on Mason Greenwood. Reggae Girls, Shania Hayles, season come to an end where she's a top goal scorer for Newcastle women team, still playing in the championship. I think she has one more year left back on her contract with a option, with another year the option, where she could trigger that clause, so 2-year deal straight up, just signed for Newcastle last summer. Very good season. Look, Shania Hayles is like the championship bully at this moment. We have a player in the WSL, Khadija Bonisha, the Premier League bully, where whenever she played, she just scored goal left, right, and center. That is Shania Hayles, someone that 24 goals, 15, 24 games, 15 goals after season. If you look back on the championship season where she played in 2022-2023 season, 25 plus games and 12 goals scored, for Bristol City. Overall, in her championship career, she played in the championship, her 3 seasons that she played in the championship, 68 games, 35 goals scored. So she played for Villa, I think, Bristol and Newcastle. So those are the 3 teams that she played in the championship. Not so much, she have been playing in the WSL, but look, she's 25 and this is her 8th season in the women's game in England, so she been playing at such a young age, and I just think that this female will add an extra depth of quality, someone that can bring goals to help Bonisha, in the attacking third, someone that even can actually, play that role, that part-time role as a winger. But again, if we need goals off the bench, she is a good asset to bring off the bench. Look at when we play the World Cup games. Bonisha didn't give us anything, in terms of goals. Who can come off the bench? during that time, or who could have come off for the bench during that time and give us some goal? Nobody, you know. So the addition of KAYLA McKENNA, the addition of Shania Hayles, you know, now gradually, you know, getting experience. You know, KAYLA McKENNA look a bit older, you know, close to the 30, you know, years bracket. Shania Hayles just reached her mid-20s, 25 years old. You know, this summer will be a huge summer. Will she stay at Newcastle coming next season, or there will be an offer? You know, look, she proved that she can score goals. You know, her time in the Premier League, you know, look, in the Premier League, you know, Shania Hayles have scored just 9 goals in the Premier League in 50 plus games. You know, so she got a lot of games in the WSL, but you will say, you know, for struggling teams, you know, when she was a little bit younger, she's immature, you know, learning the game. No, I think it's the best time for her to make that transition and make that step up again and go into the Premier League. You know, KAYLA McKENNA, you know, just leaving, you know, Madrid, you know, club, what they want to call it, Madrid CFFF, a team that in the metropolitan area in Madrid. She left that football club, once was playing in the Spanish Premier Liga F. No, she's in Zurich, yeah, playing for Grasshopper. You know, so different pathway, you know, coming from Duke, you know, that's a good education. Yeah, coming from Duke University, that's a good education to start off. You know, went to Rangers, you know, got some goals. You know, Villarreal got some goals. You know, she scored like, I think 1/3 of the goals, you know, of what Villarreal have scored in that season. They got relegated. She moved to a team, you know, in Madrid. Now she's on the move. You know, so there's different pathways, but I just think that when I look at KAYLA, she's very physical. You know, she's like a fox in a box, but she's yet to prove that for the REGGAE. I don't think you know, KAYLA McKENNA scored 5 goals for the REGGAE girls as yet, but those 2 females will bring a lot of assets and a lot of help to Khadija Bonisha, and the coaching staff need to work magic with that front three. You know, that will be a very good front three to have. You know, if you can pick 2 from it, if you can manage to get 2 of the 3 in the starting level at once, that would be very good. But Khadija Bonisha and KAYLA McKENNA, look at their presence, look at their physical ability. They will be a threat to any CONCACAF women team in this region, especially the poacher. Yeah, Shania is someone that got speed, someone that, you know, is very clinical in the box. You know, so look, I'm ready to see Shania Hayles make that next step up. She deserves another shot in the Premier League. Which club will come for her, I don't know, but hopefully when that move comes, she take that opportunity and go. But it's good to have, you know, the top scorer, you know, not the top scorer, but she in 2nd place, you know, of the top scorer in the championship. Meanwhile, Bonisha is up there, so it's good to have, you know, two of the best. I think, look, if you ask me, both of them, you know, Khadija Bonisha the best striker in the WSL, Shania Hayles the best striker in the championship this season. Even though she's just a goal, you know, behind the other girl that who is in front of her, I think, you know, Shania is better than her. And, you know, Newcastle didn't manage. Look, it's tough to get out of the women's championship. Only one team goes up and one team goes down, you know, so it's very tough. KAYLA McKENNA, you know, getting goals, you know, saw even Jody Brown, you know, closing out her campaign over there in Portugal as well, you know, got 2 goals. But she's another one that, you know, look, her farm for the REGGAE girls been deep massively, just like Demara Gray and the rest of the reggaeboyz farm just was happy, and then whoop, like it just like a massive decline hit. That's Jody Brown. She haven't been playing anything for us lately. She's another one that needs to start to pick up her game. Look, these 2 games versus the US women's national team and the 3 Lions women team, it will be crucial going into the summer. Actually get these, you know, girls prepared, you know, ready for the new season, ready for the World Cup campaign qualification that is coming up in the near future. So we need to start to get the team settled. We need Bonisha. The rest of the players need to get back off, you know, injured, get match fit, get fully fit. Yeah, spend some time away, you know, vacation, you know, just refresh your mind, refresh the body, you know, re-energize the body, rest the muscles, and know that, look, after the summer will be work again. Understand? But different from that, look, Jun Fleming. This is a one that, you know, Jun Fleming. I was talking to somebody, you know, the other day, and I was asking a little bit of, because I know, you know, that individual, you know, have a lot of connection in the JFF and talk to a lot of people that have strings, that can pull big strings, that can pull a lot of some very tight rope that when you think that the knot is too tight, they can pull it. So they have good connection with some bigger heads and some prominent one in the administration staff of the JFF. And I was really asking him about some different players, but for some reason Jun Fleming just came upon, and I asked him about Jun Fleming, and he gave a little opinion about like, look, last summer, Jun Fleming was an option for the reggaeboyz for the Copa. He said that John Wall have identified Jun Fleming during his time when he was playing in the Serbian Super League, and the question that John Wall was asked that how comes no one told them about that player was playing in the Serbian Super League at the time and was getting minutes and he was scoring goals. He looked good, but again, it seems like what Jun Fleming's going with some particular, some individual people that in the JFF, it's still not digest pan them chest as yet of what Jun Fleming's and him friend them allegedly keep up them foolishness with the contract all up the JFF the JFF board, the administration, staff as hostage. Yes, so it's like some prominent figure in the JFF still not digest of what Jun Fleming and him friend. But guess what? Time has passed. He's playing really well. Played in the Serbian Super League. Scored double digits goal in the Serbian Super League. Now playing in in the UAE, scoring goals. He's a very good player. And if you look at it, we have some players that French players and players that who haven't represented the team since the last World Cup cycle. If some other national team have those players, it would have been hasta la vista. Those players would add real quality to those national team. So I don't know, man. But I don't know if Jun Fleming is really blacklisted from the national team. Is it? Because again, no one really want to speak about him whenever new coach is in the building. As I said, the individual said John Wall found out about the player just by doing his own research, doing his own scouting system around, and they wanted to to give him a shot during the Copa America, and it didn't really work out well. It didn't came across well as what I'm hearing from that individual who was talking to his colleague in the JFF, that it didn't came down well. It didn't came across well when Jun Fleming's name popped up on the radar from the Alf Rim's staff, that he's playing at a high level and he's scoring goals, he getting minutes, but what happened? Why he can't get featured in the team? It's like no one really wants Jun Fleming in the team. But again, you have the fans them now, the hypocrite fans them now, who have done a video already about Jun Fleming and potential recall. Is it imminent at the moment for him to get a recall, to get back into the squad? And you have some people in the comment section say, hey, is that we want to qualify for World Cup, or we still want to play some Bush League? But then them still a call for them favorite players who not doing nothing, nada, yeah. But when you're talking about Jun Fleming, it's like a bad word, because the player is not that bad. Let me tell you this: if Flemmo could play for that Panama team in that front three, he will start in that team. Trust me, he will start in that Panama team. But sometimes, what happened in the past just need to get erased and just move on from the past. But again, man, he will be a big asset. Look, he have played 20 times this season. 18 games started, he scored in 9 goals. The UAE is a very good league. If people still a call for Rafael Morrison, who is playing in the 3rd tier in that country, then what that say? You understand? You have some other players that actually playing in the JPL. I would know Flemmo is currently, the quality that him have, him better than a few of those players' names that we are called. Look, his work ethic is one that we can use. His speed. He have a little bit of a final touch where he can finish. Remember those goals are that goal that he scored on the Surinamese team. Was it the 2000 I think it was the 2021 or I think it was the 2021 Gold Cup. Look at that goal that he scored on the Surinamese team. That's a very good goal. And I think that was with his left foot. So he's one of the most consistent players that continue to get overlooked as a player, you know, for not getting picked in the national team, you know. So I mean, the people them want pick them favorite, the people them want pick who, you know, them heart go with, and you know, the people them still have up Flemmo, including those individuals that in the JFF still digest the stuff that Flemmo and some of my friend them keep up. But look, you still have the captain, you still have the vice captain, someone that who was the leader of that group, you understand? So it's just football, man, you know, it's all politics. But that is it, people, you know. Thanks for tuning in. The morning insider is here. Catch you guys tomorrow, Thursday. Bless upon yourself. Salute.